I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And as we did last month, I'm going to ask that everybody mute their phones and that one person lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And Franz, I'm going to ask if you would mind doing that.
I have the honor, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Franz. And now if we can have our roll call. Stephanie and Pearson. Present. Mr. Williamson.
Present.
Mr. Colado. And Mr. Sabato.
Present.
Ms. Hurd. Ms. Hurd. Mr. Hoagie.
Present.
Ms. Howard. Present. Mr. Lumpkin.
Here.
Ms. Matthews Simpson. Ms. Matthews Simpson. And Mr. Webster.
Here.
I have 7 of 9 present. Thank you. I can declare there is a quorum. I hate it when I'm not totally prepared, though I always am. I am going to ask that we have approval of the consent agenda. Are there any changes or corrections to the agenda as they were presented to you? Assuming that no one was on mute and that no one had an objection, we will consider the agenda approved as received. The minutes of the meeting of our last meeting were presented to you for review prior to today's meeting. Unless there is any board member who requires a reading of the minutes, I will ask if there are any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented. Having heard no request for a reading of the minutes, nor any corrections or additions, the minutes stand approved as presented. We go now to the committee report. Mr. Lumpkin.
Thank you, Madam President. The Finance Personnel Planning Committee held a teleconference meeting on August 18th. As a result, the committee is recommending 2 action items for the board's consideration. Both action items are essential to the delivery of transportation services to the public. Action item number 2, HVAC guaranteed maintenance. The purpose of this procurement is to contract with a qualified firm to provide Greater Dayton RTA with continuous comprehensive HVAC maintenance service program for all RTA facilities. The contractor is responsible for providing all necessary labor, equipment, materials, parts, tools, test equipment, and expenses related to accomplishing the requirements of this contract. This project is consistent with RDA's core value of safety and stewardship. Mr. Brown provided a detailed explanation at our committee meeting, and the supporting information is included in today's board package. Staff is available to answer any questions that the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move that the board approve a contract award to J. Hvac Design Build for 5 years for HVAC guaranteed maintenance for a total of $1,094,250. In addition, a contingency of 15% will be included to address unforeseen major repairs, bring the total recommendations for approval to $1,258,388. Funding for HVAC guaranteed maintenance is included in maintenance and facilities operating budget.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Thank you, Franz. It's been properly moved and second that action item number 2, the HVAC guaranteed maintenance contract be approved. Question. May I have a roll call for the vote? And when you do your answer, please say yes, no, or abstain. And I'd like to ask everyone to please put their phone on mute when they are not speaking. If we can have the roll call vote now for action item number 6.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hairston?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Mr. Corrado?
Yes.
Ms. Hurd?
Yes.
Mr. Hoagie?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
Ms. Matthews? And Mr. Wexler?
Yes.
We now have 8 of 9 present with 8 yeses on the vote.
Thank you. Action item number 2, HVAC guaranteed maintenance is approved. I'm hearing quite a bit of feedback. I'm wondering if anyone else is.
Yes, I'm
I
here.
am as well.
So am I.
I'm not for sure, but it sounds like it might be coming from the main area. Could that be? Well, I don't hear it now.
Yep.
Yeah, stop now. Okay, so if you'd like to go on, Mr. Lumpkin, with action item number 3.
Yes, thank you. Action item number 3, purchase of line shop platform trucks. The purpose of this procurement is to acquire 2 specialized line shop platform trucks for the RTA. These trucks will replace the 2 existing platform trucks in the maintenance fleet. The new trucks will be manufactured to RTA's detailed specifications and will be designed for the support of RTA's trolley bus fleet infrastructure system. The fully equipped specialized platform trucks support daily infrastructure maintenance operations for the repair and replacement of the overhead infrastructure system. This project is consistent with RTA's core value of safety and stewardship. Mr. Brown provided a detailed explanation at our committee meeting. The supporting information is included in today's package, and staff is available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a contract award to Stoops Freightliner in the amount of $565,784 for the purchase of 2 line shop platform trucks and a contingency of $50,000 to address any necessary changes to the final build design for the total contract award of $615,784. This procurement will be partially funded through federal grants funds. This is Tom Nicholson. I'll second that.
I'm sorry, I was on mute and I couldn't hear you. It has been properly moved and second that action item number 3 be approved for the purchase of line shop platform trucks. Any questions? May I have the roll call? May I have a roll call vote?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hairston?
Yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Yes.
Mr. Corrado?
Yes.
Ms. Hurd?
Yes.
Hoagie?
Yes.
Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
And Mr. Hvac?
Yes.
Thank you. We have 8 yeses.
Thank you. Motion carries. Action item number 3, purchase of line shop platform truck is approved. Mr. Lumpkin, would you like to continue?
Yes, so the financial update, yes, there are financial highlights that Ms. Stanforth provided at the meeting. Year-to-date July 2020 indicates a gain of $5.6 million after the local capital charge. The gain is primarily due to the funding received from the federal government as part of the CARES Act. RTA will use these funds to subsidize future operations with the loss of revenue we're facing longer term. Without CARES Act funding, we will be reporting a loss of $4.5 million at this point in time. Sales tax received from May 2020 was up $254,000 or 7.7% as compared to last year. Year-to-date May 2020 receipts are down $175,000. It'd be great if they were only down $175, or 1% as compared to last year. The complete financial package is included in today's board meeting package. And that will conclude my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Lumpkin. We will now move to the Planning Committee. Ms. Howard?
Yes, good afternoon. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting August 18th, and while we do not have any action items to bring before you, we do have important updates to provide. At the committee meeting, Mr. Brandon Polachicchio provided a summary document of recent activities in the Customer and Business Development Department. He shared that Nicole Miller, RTA's Community Relations, was recently recognized by the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission with a certificate of appreciation for her assistance in this year's census. Nicole serves as chair of the Dayton Montgomery County Complete Count Committee, which is responsible for any local outreach efforts for census participation in the Dayton Montgomery County area. In order to increase participation in the 2020 census, this past Wednesday, August 26th, RTA and U.S. Census Rapid Response Team partnered to host a special event at Hvac Plaza to assist writers in completing the 2020 census survey. The event will occur every Wednesday from noon to 6:30 p.m. until September 30th, which is the final day the surveys will be available. As a thank you for completing the survey at the end of the event, the RTA will provide, at no charge, a day pass to participants. The 2020 census is vital to the support of public institution services, including local public transit systems like RTA. Completion of the survey provides an accurate count of the city's population to help secure federal funding for local programs. This concludes my report, Madam President. I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. If there are no questions, we'll move on to Executive Officer's report. Mr. Donahue.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm not saying that, by the way. I have nothing further than what's in the packet, provided as informational items, but I would be happy to answer any questions the board may have or hand them off to one of the folks in the room that could answer better than I.
Great. There's no other questions, then we'll go on to old business, which I do not think I have any old business to bring forward, but we do have new business to bring forward, and my name is next to it, but I'm going to have Mr. Corrado, do you have the information that you could do it?
Yes, I do, Madam President.
Great, if you would not mind doing that.
I will take over from here. Good afternoon, all. I have two pieces of information I want to present to you. One is I'm just going to read this. This is the Greater Dayton RTA 2020-2021 Nominating Committee Report submitted for the September 1st of 2020 Board of Directors Trustees meeting, which is today. In accordance with the RTA bylaws, the board's nominating committee, consisting of Sharon E. Howard, John A. Lumpkin Jr., and myself acting as chair, wish to nominate David P. Williamson as president and John A. Lumpkin Jr. as vice president for the calendar year 2020-2021. The newly elected officers will be voted on today and installed in the October 6th, 2020 Board of Trustees meeting. The new officers shall be tasked with establishing chairs for each of our committees, planning, finance, and investment, as well as member assignments for each committee. We especially want to thank Ms. Hairston for her many years of service to the RTA and the community, and we appreciate Mr. Wilson for continuing his service and willingness for agreeing to serve as president for the upcoming calendar year. At the same time, we welcome Mr. Lumpkin as he joins our leadership. Please know, Sharon, that your leadership has been very much appreciated and is significant in the succession transition for RTA. With that, I would nominate David and John Lumpkin for president and vice president for the calendar year 2021. But I just want everybody to know that in the voting on this process, Sharon Howard and myself voted for the officers while John Lumpkin abstained. And additionally, I always try to go track and communicate with everybody as to where our succession planning process is going. So in doing so, I have had full communication with the entire board, and all of them support the results of this nominating committee. So I guess with that, I would say pretty soon they're going to be ready for that crown for John.
I'd just like to say I was promised a crown. I did not request it.
Okay, there is a motion on the floor for us to accept as our future president and vice president, Mr. Williamson and Mr. Lumpkin.
Okay, this is Adrian. I second the motion.
Okay, it has been properly moved and seconded that we accept the two nominations for our officers. Oh, God. May I have a roll call vote? And please, people, put your phones on mute when you're not speaking. Thank you. We'll call for the roll call vote now.
Ms. Hairston?
Yes, definitely, for sure, certainly. Oh, wait, yes. I was only supposed to say yes.
Mr. Williamson?
Ms. Hairston told me that I had to say yes.
Mr. Corrado?
Yes.
Ms. Hurd? Ms. Hurd?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Ms. Howard? Mr. Lumpkin?
Yes.
And Mr. Hvac?
Yes.
Thank you. We have 8 yeses.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Ms. Matthew Stinson is on the line, and I vote yes.
All right, okay. Thank you, Ms. Matthew Stinson. So we now have 9 votes for our new officers. Yay! Oh, wait. So we now have 9 votes for our new officers. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Corrado, for following up and getting that done. The next thing on the agenda is recognized to speak, you must, a microphone will be brought to you, and you must state your name and address. After doing so, you will have 3 minutes to make your comment. When 30 seconds remain, a yellow light will come on. Well, or somebody will warn you that you have 30 seconds left. When 3 minutes are up, you must cease speaking and surrender the microphone. And I have been told that the first person or the only person we have is Althea Apadula. I think I may have said that right.
Yes, ma'am.
You can go ahead, Althea.
Althea Apadula, 3117 Herbert Avenue. Last month I came to ask about the physical verbal prompt assistance on big buses for air transit. Been a month. I've not heard anything in regards to that. Our ADA on my own, and they said y'all have your own rules. You need to get back to it. Second thing is, when I make appointments to bring individuals on a trip with me, they're not being conveyed to the drivers, and the drivers are asking, well, I didn't know you had that person with me. And if they don't know that, then how do they know how many people to put on that bus for that run? Prior transit. And I'm not going to argue. I'm done.
Okay, I didn't catch all of that, and I'm sorry that it wasn't real clear, but can someone address what she said?
Chris, would you address the first? I think the second has to do with. So last month, I know this has to do with they come to the board meeting. We covered Grace Sojourner a few times about this incident. What she was saying about sitting on the bus. She just also last week to my office, and Thomas Nichols spoke to her on August 26th and followed back up with her about what we would do as far as assisting passengers on the bus. My understanding this was about fixed route bus primarily. I would say on the second issue, that's something that was happened from the manifest to see if it was listed or not. Because the driver told you it isn't there, that doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't there. But we'll check and make sure that the PCAs are getting listed on the bid.
Is there a difference between PCA containers?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Sometimes they say, are you riding with a companion or PA?
I think either way they're supposed to be listed. So we will check and we'll find out the answer.
Okay, so someone will follow up with her and resolve the issue.
That's correct. If we find out they're not listed. And sometimes the issue may be the driver neglected to look at that part of the manifest. It's the notes, I believe, they call it. But we'll check.
Okay,
And in either case, would you let the board know what the outcome is, please?
Absolutely. As we usually do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and that was the only public comment we had, correct?
Correct.
Okay, we will move now to board member comments, and I will start with Ms. Hurd. Do you have any comments?
No comments, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Williamson?
My only comment is that no greater critic than my wife, who's a tough sell, told me that she really likes the calendar buses and the looks of them, so I wanted to pass that on to staff.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Corrado? Mr. Corrado?
Otto, you might be on mute if you're saying anything.
Well, you tell me to turn it off, but then you can't forget to turn it back on. Anyway, I don't know what David said. I like those buses and some of the themes, and I especially like the September bus theme. So I think I just sent Bob a note on that. I should have copied everything.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Howard?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Mr. Lumpkin?
You know, just like everyone, to keep our senior students in their thoughts. I mentor a couple young men in the Dayton Public and Trotwood schools, and last Friday hit them kind of hard because they were unable to participate in extracurriculars. So they've asked me to kind of champion their heartache and show my support. So I am. Dayton Public is now free, and I will say free Trotwood Madison extracurriculars in support of the young men that I support.
Okay. Ms. Matthew Stinson?
No comments.
Okay. Mr. Hogan?
Yes, I'd like to add my thanks to you, Sharon, for your leadership as president, and to Dave as vice president, and extend my best wishes and congratulations to Dave and John Lumpkin for their elevation to the leadership positions within our RTA.
Thank you. And then Mr. Wetkerson.
Well, I was going to thank you for your service, right? And then you butchered my last name. I just like to hear Franz's comments and
I wasn't on mute when I messed up your name.
no, thank you, Sharon, for your dedication and service, and look forward to the same commitment from Dave and John.
You're welcome, and thank you. And I do know how to say Wetkerson. Sometimes you just have those memory lapses. You'll figure it out later. Okay. Our next board meeting is scheduled for October 6th, which is the meeting that we will swear in our new officers. And our next committee meeting is September 15th. So, and all of that information is available to you on your agenda. Having nothing else on the agenda,